Let's go, let's go.
Baseline drive and throws it down with new air.
You're good, nice, good job.
Good pass down low to Whittlesville, throw it down. Green fires a three, and that's good. Welcome to the Tim Miles Show. John followed out of bounds. Got it to Nygon, lead pass and to Ogade, who throws it down. Timeout, Utah.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Tim Miles Show. Hard to believe it, but it's our final program of the year. Thank you for joining us, not only for this edition, but all season long. Brian Roth with the host of the program. We'll talk about the regular season for the Rams and some of the postseason accolades now that have come down. First team nomination of honorable mention, sixth man of the year. We'll get you all that information as we continue here. And Paul Kowalczyk will make his debut here this year on the Tim Miles Show. But first we talk hoops with the coach, Tim Miles. Maybe we shouldn't talk hoops. I was going to come with all my, Vegas garb. We were going to talk fashion. This was going to be the fashion week, but just because I'm not dressed to kill here today, you always are, so what are you wearing?
Well, I bought this in Vegas, actually, at one of those.
So you bought that in Vegas?
Yeah, it's like a Tiger Woods golf sweater.
Okay.
Yeah, and then just some Rams green in there, and some blue jeans, yeah.
Well, they're not just blue jeans, they're designer blue jeans.
Sure they are, yeah.
Which you bought at the Hard Rock Hotel in Vegas?
They're more expensive than any other pair of pants I have, so I figured that they'd be good enough for the show.
So let me ask you this, are you more excited to go to Vegas for the tournament or for the shopping?
Shopping's good now. Shopping's good, the food's good. I don't gamble, so, I gamble with 19-year-olds, my livelihood.
That's right.
That's enough gambling for me.
That's enough stress in your lifetime. Yeah. Well, I'm going to save all of my good garb for Vegas down there, so I'm going to be down there working a little bit, but I don't have to work nearly much as the coaches and the players.
We're ready for the work. It's going to be fun.
That's right. Well, the regular season is now over. You wrapped up with a split here this past week, 19-11. As we look back at the season as a whole, you finished fourth in the Mountain West Conference, better than what the pundits had predicted. Your thoughts on the regular season?
Well, our goals were ambitious and our goals were higher than what we finished, so there's always that kind of geez, we just missed out a little bit. But at the same time, our kids, I thought in the most difficult year the Mountain West ever had, really outperformed expectations. And I think that's why you saw sellouts at the end of the year and you saw a real fever around Rams basketball. And we're not done yet, but, fourth place is a nice showing. 9 conference wins, as many as they've had in a long time. And 19 wins is, at the end of the regular season is one of the highest they've had in a long time, too. And we're not ready to stop there. We're ready to go out and get New Mexico in the Mountain West tournament.
Yeah, but legitimate shot to get 20, 21, 22 wins for this basketball program. Last 20-win season. Have to go all the way back to the 97-98 year. Mentioned some of the accolades coming in, and we'll be joined by Pierce Hornung coming up in a bit. Sixth man of the year. I'll let you talk about that once we get Pierce on. But how about Andy Ogade, the senior first team All Mountain West Conference? That's exactly where he belongs in my mind.
Well, he's well deserved. Andy's I think he's the third best player in our league behind Kawhi Leonard, who I think is an NBA pick, and Jimmer Fredette, who might be the National Player of the Year. So that's pretty heady company, and Andy's right there. To be on that first team is pretty special. It's a great league, and to be on the first team in its most difficult year like this, that's pretty cool stuff. And Travis Franklin was honorable mention too, which I think was nice. If Frank was able to keep his production going, he probably would have been on the one of those 3 teams too. But our perimeter shooting kind of fell off, and then they were able to key on Travis a little easier, so he had it more difficult.
Yep, Travis Franklin, congratulations. Honorable mention, All Mountain West Conference, and this being his senior season. We mentioned you split last week and got that win against Utah here, the final home game, at least regular season here at Moby Arena. Nice crowd, and I thought you guys really dominated a Utah team.
Yeah, our conference was loaded up difficult at the end. Of course, we had San Diego State on the road, Utah at home, at Air Force. We were at BYU and then UNLV at home. So we were at a certain point where things looked great, but we also knew what was ahead of us, and the challenges went with that. And so to bounce back after 3 tough losses and beat Utah and, beat them by be up 15-17 late was really important. And that was a good win. Our guys were aggressive. I thought they were on the hop. We were a little sharper, a little faster down the floor in transition, and just did more things. And then Andy was Andy. Andy was tremendous again. So that was a big, important win for us.
Yeah, it was good to get some of that swagger back, that confidence back. That sometimes when you lose, especially tough games that you had lost, sometimes that can wane a little bit. But boom, got it right back.
Yeah, you know, you build so much equity over the year. You know, I think we're 18-7 at one point. So you know you can win, you know how you do it, you know what to do, and then you lose some. And boy, you go, oh yeah, this is what it's like to win. This is what it's like to play the way we play. And so that game was really important for us, especially going into the San Diego State game.
Yep, Rams got the snide with that 13-point win against Utah, then wrapped up the regular season in front of a sold-out crowd at Viejas Arena this past Saturday. And tie basketball game at halftime. San Diego State would pull away in the second half. Your thoughts, the differences between first half and the second half against San Diego State?
Well, we quit scoring is one of the things, and not that we ever scored a lot in the first half or on a regular basis, but I just saw it. First of all, I'd like to commend San Diego State. They played tremendous, and congratulations to them and BYU on co-champions. They both had phenomenal years. And you know, at the end of the game, when you look at the box score and you start looking at this, that, first thing you recognize, they're 29-2. All right, 29, and there's 2 on. It's hard to beat them. You know, BYU's the only team to beat them. And the next thing was, we just let them score off our offense. We had 15 turnovers, which isn't a huge amount. It's not a great amount. I'd rather have that about 12 on the road. But they scored 25 points off those 15 turnovers, and that's just, you know, that incites the crowd. They get a run-out dunk, and the crowd gets going, and it was a tremendous atmosphere for San Diego State. And they were playing for something. They knew what they were playing for.
Yeah. Do you look at San Diego State maybe and you see what Steve Fisher's been able to done and look at the interest in college basketball there at San Diego State and say, listen, we can do the same thing here at Colorado State?
Well, you know, when we were there my first year, and we were dreadful, of course, but I mean, they have Lorenzo Wade and Kyle Spain and Billy White was there. And they got guys that, I mean, they got guys with as much talent as they got now. They didn't play as hard, though, and the crowd was okay. And you look at where they've come, and now, I mean, these kids really play hard for Coach. They defend, they get out and run. They're really a good team. And that atmosphere is unbelievable. The way it's changed, our students have really kicked it up a notch, and they're out camping in. When they open the doors, they rush in, and it's just quite an event to watch all that go on.
Yeah, it's a great college basketball atmosphere they've established down there at Viejas Arena in San Diego. All right, first segment in the books. When we come back, we'll be joined by Rams sophomore Pierce Hornung, Mountain West Conference 6th Man of the Year. That comes up next here in the Tim Miles Show.
The fake great step through, scooped it up and in.